Oh well, just disappointed and annoyed still. With a couple other things. I mean, that's what happens when the season comes to an end. You probably go through a range of different things, how you feel and how you think. So yeah, it's just disappointing.
Similar last night. You said it at the time. It felt like the season was a bit of a waste. You sort of the same thing?
Well, there's always a couple of ways you can always look at it, because ultimately, if you don't win a premiership, you could say it is. We've been able to put ourselves in a pretty good opportunity. We played a little bit inconsistent throughout the year, but I think we managed to get on track towards the end. And certainly, when you get yourself into the finals, you always, I suppose, give yourself the best opportunity, and you always play that you can win it. So I wouldn't say it's wasted, because you can always learn. You can always learn something. So that's team, individually, but certainly as the years pass on, you realise that you've got to make most of your opportunities. Yeah.
Do you get sort of angry at those results when you think, I haven't got as many seasons left as I've played?
Well, there's all of those things. It's probably just it's only when you get older that you realise, as I said before, opportunities don't come along too often. So it doesn't matter if you never know how long you're going to play footy for. So you always want to try to make the most of your opportunities. So it's just disappointing, is what it is. I mean, Bulldogs played very well. We didn't play anywhere near how we would like to play. And that's what's disappointing, that we just didn't get to play good football.
Are there perhaps a few boys in this situation, when you were around the group and they made it to the 06 grand final?
Yep.
Younger guys can sometimes think, this is going to happen every year from now. Do you think there's a few guys learning a lesson this year?
You always, so to answer that, being young or old, you always learn lessons along the lines, mate. I was fortunate enough. I got to play in a few grand finals before I came to the club, and then West Coast was successful in 06, and then 07 we had a pretty good year. So you always believe that if you play good football, that can keep rolling on. But you always just got to keep working hard and keep improving and keep doing that. So I don't think blokes are thinking they'll just roll up and it'll happen. But I think at the same time, it's just a natural progression of growing up in general, but playing football, that you have to keep working hard, because it doesn't happen. Yeah.
Do you think last night's results sort of reinforced that with a few of the group?
I think it just reinforces how hard you have to keep working, and the competition is getting better and better. So you just need to be doing your best at all the time. So blokes will learn different things always along the way, but ultimately, you just got to keep improving. Individually yourself for what you want to work on, and then as a team, as a collective, that's the biggest thing. I mean, if you can play good team football, that's what wins premierships, I believe, and that's just what you need to be able to do. Yeah, everyone's just going to keep getting better, just a little couple bits of percent. Sometimes that's like more fitness, more training, more skills. Other times it's just what you're doing. Make sure you're doing it with quality.
How much will the result last night and the heartbreaking nature of it, how much will that drive you during the off-season?
As I said, I think that's even if you win a grand final, you're always trying to get better. So I think regardless of how the season finishes, whether you're last or you're first, you should always be aiming to get better and improve and play good football. But certainly when things don't go your way, I think it makes it. You do. You probably get more drive over the break, and it's just important how you come back and how you train, because everyone will talk about it and will talk and how it works, but ultimately actions are always the biggest thing. So it's just how you want to come back, what type of shape you're in, the attitude that you want to have towards the season, towards the pre-season.
It was a bit of a weird season in the sense that it was really only that 3-week stretch where you guys really hit your straps, and the rest was a bit hit and miss. You put your finger on why so much of the season it was totally different to what it was last year.
No, I can't really. Sorry, but I think with footy they are a long year, so you do tend to have a few ups and downs along the way. especially past the bye, I think we managed to grind out a few wins, even though when we weren't playing great footy, which is in one way pleasing. And certainly, you always want to play the best footy you can. That's what you always want to aim to do. We probably did that the last 3 or 4 weeks, and we just couldn't do it last night. And it's more about just being consistent. So I think good teams do that, and then flowing on from that individually, if you're consistent, you're always going to be in the game.
Simo said last night that he doesn't see the need for too many list changes or anything like that. Are you confident you've got the core group here to really push on and challenge?
Well, I believe so, yes. You see the group, every AFL group is different, but you have your own unique strengths that you can work with, and I think we've got a couple of really good key strengths over here, so I don't think we need to be changing the group. All it is making sure that the players that we have is going away collectively saying, well, I need to do this to get better, and then as a team making sure that we just get better and play well.
Shannon, there's a bit of criticism about going in too tall last night. I guess it's easy in hindsight, but the team you had out there, confidence that was the right team.
Certainly. You pick the best team that you believe will win, and whatever team goes out there, I'm always extremely confident, because if we play our team role and do what we're meant to be doing, I've got no doubt that we can adapt and should be able to adapt and play good footy. Just last night we didn't use the ball very well. They played well, put some reasonable pressure on. They used the ball, so I don't think it would have mattered if we were tall, small, or in between. We just didn't play good football.
Can you describe the difference in how you're feeling today compared to how you're feeling last year?
Well, similar. I can't really. It's just similar. As I said before, I think if you win the premiership, well, of course you're going to be pretty happy. But if you're second or if you're last, I think you're always pretty disappointed.
Will you find it hard to watch the final series now?
Yeah, more than likely. I've found the more that time goes on, it gets hard to watch. It's always good to watch because they are normally good football teams, and it's pretty good footy. So no doubt I'll probably watch a little bit, but I'll be trying to do a fair bit of fishing in between as well.
Are you expecting many retirements in the next couple of weeks?
I wouldn't have thought so. No, I wouldn't have thought so.
How about Sam Bailey? You reckon he deserves another year after his career high?
I think Sam's been playing some really good footy these past 2 or 3 years. He's managed to get a really good, I suppose, happy medium with his body. It's understood he had a few, not injury concerns, but he just couldn't quite get the consistency in his body. So he's been able to find that really well. He's been a great team player, and he understands how to play footy. So I'd assume he'd stay on, but that's the club's decision.
Anyone else booked in for surgery other than Lycett at this stage?
That'll all be done, I assume, mate. Start of next week, I think, is when they'll decide all that. So there'll be a couple of blokes, but I don't know how and what. Yeah.
What's the process from here on in terms of when do you guys go on holidays and what do you have to do before that? That'll all be finalised today, but I'm pretty sure it's mid next week sometime. So we do. Main things you got to do is, when I say do reviews, so making sure what's expected over the break, the off-season program that you get. They're the two biggest things that we'll be covering over the next few days.